Director of Pacific Media Centre David Robie, alongside Little Island Press, are releasing the 5th edition of the Eyes of Fire book, commemorating the 30th anniversary of the sinking of the Rainbow Warrior. Robie, who was a journalist on board the ship in 1985, says this edition will put things into context.
You know, when I thought about it and I planned what to do, and I thought, well, this is going to be quite an extraordinary thing. So I'd planned the book right from the start. If I was going to spend 10 weeks on board, I was doing journalism for media all around the region, but my end goal was actually to do a book.
And that led to the publishing of the first Eyes of Fire book in 1986. Publishing director Tony Murrow says it's all about connecting communities.
I think what we've seen with the 30 years that have passed since the Rainbow Warrior bombing, that there's a whole generation that doesn't really know about this part of the Pacific, this episode in Pacific history. For us, it's not just about a book, it's about an entire movement of people and leveraging the connections with those people from the past, the original members of the Rainbow Warrior vessel, allowing them to pass on that knowledge to the new generation and hand over to them.
Alongside the book, the creation of a microsite gave a way to bridge the digital and print worlds.
At a time when we've got climate change and other environmental issues, pollution in the Pacific, it's quite critical to see that this is part of an ongoing period of activism that needs to continue and needs to be handed over to this new generation.
Robie says the nuclear-free mission is also a humanitarian issue.
But in this case, this was all about the absolutely horrendous nuclear testing that had gone on with Americans since the 50s, the callous disregard for the health of the people and their well-being.
And with the project that AUT students have embarked on, Robie says the issues from 30 years ago are still relevant today.
The critical issue, I think, facing the whole Pacific region is climate change. In fact, it's facing the whole world. And unfortunately, media don't see that as a critical issue. It's not just a topic to be covered. This is our future. It's absolute critical decisions and policy making. It's so important about this for the future. And it's really important to get as much media coverage about that. And these are sort of things that are often neglected by the media because media organisations can't afford to send someone off, usually for 10 weeks on assignment like that.
French journalist Amelie David says she wants to find out more about what the event means to the average New Zealander.
Since I'm here, everybody, every time I'm saying I'm French, and at certain point in the conversation comes to, oh yeah, and you sing the Rainbow Warrior, and that's why I'm interested in getting to know what really happened, what really was the Rainbow Warrior, what the Greenpeace people wanted to protest against what we were doing in the Pacific Ocean, because it's so far away actually from our country that we don't even really know what happened there.
Amelie says the event is known to the older generations of French who live in Auckland, but back home it's a different story.
Back in the country, though, I would not say it's a big topic and it's a big issue. I've been trying to, talk to French newspapers about that, and I didn't get that much answer at the moment. I don't even know if there is something going on and if they're planning on doing some kind of big thing. So we don't quite often talk about this. And for us, young people born after that, we don't talk about it in school as we should do, I personally think.
She says French communities may be ashamed to address the incident.
The bad thing we did, it always come up at a certain point, but not right away. For example, lately our president apologized for what we've been doing in Algeria, for example, which was the French war. And so probably at some point we'll come up with some apology for New Zealand, and people will get to know about really what happened.
Amelie says she is most looking forward to finding out the current relations between the two countries.
30 years later, what's up? What's going on between New Zealand and France about politics, economics, and I would like to discover what France is doing now in the Pacific Island. Is it really over, or is there still things going on?